Here's something I find both convicting and a little funny about the Lord's Prayer. Most of us can recite it from memory. We learned it before we learned to drive. We say it without thinking, which is, ironically, exactly what Jesus warned us not to do. And yet, most of us have never really read it. Not recited it, read it, slowly, with questions. Like it's a text that has something to say if we'll slow down long enough to hear it. That's what we're going to do for the next 3 weeks. This series is called Teach Us to Pray, and the title comes straight out of Luke 11, where the disciples walk up to Jesus and say, "Teach us to pray." Not because they didn't know how. They were Jewish. They prayed all the time. They asked because they wanted to go deeper, deeper than what they already knew. That's the posture we're bringing, not as experts, but learners, wannabe disciples who want to understand what we've been saying all this time. Here in week 1, we're going to look at before you pray. Before we touch a single word of the prayer itself, we need to see what's around it. Because here's what biblical literacy keeps teaching us. Context changes everything. A text pulled out of its surroundings says one thing. A text read in its home, with the verses that come before it, the setting it was spoken in, the people Jesus was actually talking to, says something much richer. Sometimes something completely different. So this week, we're asking, who was Jesus talking to? Where were they? What problem was he responding to? And what do the words, "Our Father," the very first words of this prayer, actually mean when you know the world they came from? Each daily session takes one passage and sits with it. Not a lecture, just a closer look than we actually and usually take. Here's your question to carry into the week. Is there anything in this prayer you've always wondered about? A phrase that seemed strange, a word that didn't quite land the way you expected? And as we go through this study, let's remember, we know every word, but do we really know what we're saying?